Hashtag no music, no intro. Saints Block Party podcast. Thursday night, Monday Night Football preview pod. Saints Packers taking place in Green Bay, Lambeau. Uh,
Be fun there, boy.
it's gonna be fun. The funny thing, sorry, let's get this out on Twitter. The funny thing is everything kind of time out before we get into the game. Just want to give a special shout out to a friend of mine. It is December 19th. It is their birthday. Happy birthday to them. I'm leaving it at that.
Happy birthday.
Um, so there has been just so much happening in this week alone. You're seeing, if you want a perfect example of just weeding through between the lines and what different people are being told, this week is a perfect example of that going on right now in the
Perfect.
New Orleans Saints, bro. Perfect example. Because Ian Rappaport comes out this week, and to be fair, like this is Ian Rappaport ain't reporting anything that I hadn't heard the day that the injury happened. Ryan, I was in New York, got the text message. It said Derek Carr should be going on IR. That's what I was told. Before we recorded
That day.
the Giants recap pod, Ian Rappaport tweets out this week that after further testing, blah blah blah, like Derek Carr probably like shouldn't be playing again, like blah blah, and probably shouldn't be playing football again this season. Okay, and then you just get this pushback from Darren Rizzi, so he has the press conference today, and it's like Derek Carr's week to week, and he's itching to get back out there, and he has to go through these different protocol methods and all this and all that, and so Ian Rappaport is not Ian Rappaport is not getting that from nobody from nowhere,
Right.
right? I'm not getting that from nowhere. It's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
But there's this other whatever it is that's just like, no, like we are
Yeah.
still pushing for Derek Carr to play games this season. And the funny thing that happened today, let's put the bow on the thing. So the Saints Twitter account tweets out Spencer Rattler named the starter against the Packers. And then you hear Darren Rizzi says it in the pressure. I'm listening to it at work. He says, if Derek Carr, he prefaces and says, if Derek Carr can't go, then Spencer Rattler will be the starter. So that tells me that someone had already told the Saints media account that Spencer Rattler is going to be the starter, but yet
Right.
Rizzi's still putting this qualifier on it. What is going on? It's a circus, bruh. It's a goddamn circus, bruh.
Damn circus. You got an organization that's not in lockstep. Not in
Nope.
lockstep, bro. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? There's no synergy. All the little corporate terms that they throw around. No synergy. No collaboration and all that stuff. You have factions within the
Mm-hmm.
organization fighting for their jobs, fighting for what they think is right, or putting out information they think is might be right to them, but this faction over here like, nah, we doing this. It's a mess. It's a mess right now. It's a dysfunctional organization right now. It's dysfunctional. Like, I know people don't like to hear it. They don't like to hear it. They like to think Saints is just like this. They just think of the Drew Brees Sean era where everything. Even in the Drew Brees Sean era, shit was
Oh,
dysfunctional. It just
yeah.
we had some wins during that time, but it
It
was
was
it
it
was
was just hitting real
it
well.
was just hitting very well. Like, Sean Payton did a very good job with hitting, but it was crazy back then. It's a crazy place right now, bro. It's crazy. It just don't make no damn sense. What are we doing, Adam? How many times do I ask, what are we doing? I still don't know. What we doing?
I mean, listen, it's funny because at one point in the presser, Darren Rizzi, it felt like he was like singling out our podcast. I know he wasn't, but it felt like he was because he's like, oh, there's a lot of questions about like why would I start Derek Carr if he can go? Well, listen here, I'll tell you this. You know, everyone got a clean slate. You know, when I became interim, which I appreciated. You know, as interim, I appreciate it. And since I became interim head coach, Derek Carr's done is going 3-1. He's throwing 6 touchdowns. He's had a completion percentage of 68%.
Ooh, yeah, the stats. Yeah, the stats really.
He listed them, bro. He listed them, bro. He just went down them all. And at one point, I wanted someone in the Saints media to go. Did y'all not see how did y'all not see how he played against the Giants? Because like I was there.
You would have said we won the game.
Exactly though, and what was told to me, and it's fighting for desk space and it's fighting for job preservation, and when you understand it from that prism, it makes more sense.
Yes.
This is Darren Rizzi's only chance that he is going to be able to have potentially to have a NFL head coaching job. There are
Only
32
chance.
of them bitches. 32,
Right.
bro. It's hard to get those jobs.
It's hard, bro. Bro.
As much as we can bemoan and be annoyed with Derek Carr, if you're a coach, if you had to pick between him and a rookie or a second year player, you're going to pick Derek Carr. It just that's what it boils down to. Now you could then say, well, that's not what the Atlanta Falcons are doing right now. But then someone would say, well, the Atlanta Falcons drafted a quarterback in the top 10. It's still an unknown, is it not? I'm just
But look, like what the Falcons are doing is hella risky for
Yes.
this season, you know. But you know, you have a coach there, he's a first year coach, and
job security.
he wouldn't be doing that unless it was solidified from up top. Like
Yes.
he's not just making that decision like, oh,
No.
no, that's coming from up top. Like, look, we behind you 100%.
There it is.
Let's do it.
There it is.
We don't have that. Like they, we don't have that. And Rizzy just fighting for his job. Rizzy is doing everything. One thing about Loomis, he will let the coach, for the most part, go do what he got to do, if it aligns with, you know, if it kind of aligns with what he wants. You know what I'm
There
saying?
it is. There it is.
So it's got, if they align, like now, if you go outside the box a little bit, no, I gotta step in. But if it aligns with him, he gonna let you go. Yeah, go ahead. Yo, we need to, yeah, bring Carr back whenever you gotta bring him back. You know, if he's healthy, he's ready to go, bring him back. Which makes no sense. Like, tell me where it makes sense from any outside of Darren Rizzi, you know, trying to win as many games as he can. Get that, move that out the way. We got that. He's an interim head coach. Of course, that's what he's doing. But outside of that, where does it make sense? Where? Like,
Doesn't. It doesn't.
you're not going to the playoffs. He's injured, has a fractured hand and a concussion.
2 fractures in his
Two fractures.
hand. 2, bro.
He has a injury protection guarantee, which could, you know, if he plays, he could further injure himself. Like right now, his injury is like, yeah, he should be healed up, you know, probably before the year's out, and he will pass his physical in March, and
Right.
and you know, like, so there should be no problem if they wanted to move on. There should be no problems with the guarantees. But he can go and play a game next week and do something even worse to the hand. Then you talking about he is on the books for 2025, period. You know, for that
40
injury
million.
guarantee. 40 M's, baby. That's just so stupid. So stupid. It's just,
Our dude, Chris in the Discord was like, if what if Derek Carr like decided like if he would like agree to like a pay cut and come back at like 15 million, would you still want him on the team? No. No. I want the energy out the building, bro.
Yeah,
I
I
want the
just
energy out
want
the building.
because I guarantee some of this is protecting his ego. The whole Rizzy speech with the you know, completion percentage and the 3-1 and that, that's 100% him protecting ego.
Yes.
Because he said it himself. He said, look, Derek Carr, you know, he don't like all this speculation about if he's starting or not. And all that. He said that himself. So it's like, Like, why Derek Carr? Like, why you even like? Why are you worrying about what people saying? Like, bro, you got a broken hand. You're not playing right now, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you worried about what people saying right now for? Like, what?
And if that is the mindset of the quarterback that they went out in free agency and got and spent $150 million on, and he's going to be the franchise quarter, that's his mindset. That's his mentality, bro.
No
Terrible,
thanks.
bro. Terrible, bro.
No, thank you.
Oh, lordy,
Get him
lordy,
out
lordy.
of my face,
I
please.
need
Get
to, I
him
need
out
to
of my
go,
face.
bro. I can't. And
Get,
and that and that comes to the question, right? Because even recently, as of this week, I all that I have been told, and it's early, right? We got 3 games left in the NFL season. A lot can change between now and week 1 of next season. But what I've been told as of right now is that Mickey Loomis wants Derek Carr to be back next season, and he wants him to be QB1. That's his plan for next season. Which, even from a perspective, I'm like, hey, you don't have a head coach right now. Like, maybe when you're conducting these head coaching interviews, maybe that's something you want to bring up to these candidates about what they feel about Derek Carr, right? I'm
right.
just how they think about them. Just like it's not like they sitting on Kyler Murray or something like that. Like, where you like it's like, hey, like, it's a non-starter. Like, hey, if you don't
Yeah.
want, like, Derek Carr's like 34. Anyway, so that's his plan. So the question then the question then becomes, it becomes such a huge thing, such a thing where it seems like it's almost impossible that where something would happen to change Mickey's mind, right?
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it in the Discord, like, not, and again, not saying that it's likely. I don't want people twisting our words around and saying that we're saying it's going to happen, right? It would take it would take a performance of a life. It would take like a Josh Dobbs against the Saints game. Spencer Rattler
Right.
got to do that in Green Bay, bro.
Right.
In Lambeau, in the snow.
Just like the league on fire.
Yeah. Like, it would have to be something like that for it to even be a conversation for
Yeah.
like the next 2-3 weeks. Um, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know. And that's where I think I appreciate, and I know it might be sacrilegious to give like the Falcons props on this podcast, because
Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I
say
hate it.
whatever you want to say about their draft strategy. You can roast them that they gonna eat for 40 million this year or whatever, and 25, whatever it is,
They eat a lot of money. This
eating
is
a lot of
easy.
money. But but and that's why I always kept saying, like, even this as the season was going on, like, at least the Falcons have hope to look forward to.
At least they got that, bro. At least they got that. I still don't like the process. The process of signing Kirk Cousins, in February or whenever they decided to sign him, March, and not having a good enough grasp on the draft process, on the prospects to know, because everybody knew Michael Penix was going to be there, at what, 8, like he was going to be there. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, like he was going to be there. So it's like, I mean, to guarantee that much money and then go draft a quarterback, like you created the controversy right there. Like when it
Oh, for
happened,
sure.
you just created the controversy,
Yes.
you know. But for the long term interest of your team, I mean, if the owner fine with paying Kirk Cousins 90 million for 14 games or whatever, okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay, like that's
Like,
charging
I'm
to the
like,
game.
can't. And everyone's like, well, yeah, Derek Carr's never had like a stretch as bad as Kirk. And I'm like, well, Derek Carr's never had the highs as high as Kirk
No,
either. Like, and
let Derek Carr tear his damn Achilles and come back and see how he look. Shit. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. Like, just stop it, bro. Stop it. Like Derek Carr, bro. I'm done. I'm done fussing about Derek Carr, who he is, what he is. Is he average? Is he below average? Or is I'm done with the conversation. It's like the DA conversation. That conversation is over. Like he is out of my life, and I want the same for Carr. I just want him out of my life forever. But yeah, it's been hard, bro. Like I have not been wanting to give the Falcons props for just making a move. It's a ballsy move. They are in the playoff
Ballsy.
hunt. They are still in the playoff hunt. And look, Kirk Cousins, he's had a very bad stretch of football the past month, but he
Very
could
bad.
very well turn it around. I mean, he coming off a win. It was an ugly win, but he coming off a
It's a
win
win.
this past week. He could very well turn it around, and they could make some tweaks to the offense or whatever, get back to play action, passing and stuff, whatever, and go back to cooking and whatever. But they said, whoop, we ripping the band-aid off. We don't care what happened. We rolling
Ballsy,
back the
bruh.
cleaning.
That,
That's
I like
the Saints would not do that ever. Like the Saints
ever,
just would never,
ever,
ever do that. Ever do
ever.
that, bro.
And then and we'll get into like the actual Green Bay game, and then we're gonna talk about future head coach candidates. If Carr is back, and we'll have a whole fucking offseason to talk about this, but if Carr is back, the only thing I will truly ask, can it be like an actual competition?
Please,
Like, could it be an actual competition?
please, not this fake. Like we live in our own universe where Derek Carr is this top 10 quarterback. That we just this franchise is untouchable quarterback. Because you know what? The national media has been Mike Florio, Ian Rappaport, Fowler, everybody has been on this whole injury guarantee for next year. Why are they on that? Why are they talking? Why is that a story? Because Derek Carr is not a solidified starter. He's not a solidified franchise quarterback. If he was a solidified franchise quarterback, that wouldn't even be a story. Of course, you pay the 40 million because teams want to pay
He,
good quarterbacks
quarterbacks.
$40 million. Like,
I'll talk about it.
if he was a good quarterback, you'd be happy to pay him. Like, oh yeah, let's do it.
Easy.
Let's do an extension. Shit, like
Maybe there should be. If only there was someone in the Saints front office that went through something similar to. Oh wait, there is.
which is hilarious. Derek Carr went through the same thing with the Raiders. You had Sean Payton go through the same thing with Russell Wilson, where he essentially benched.
Yep.
First asked Russell Wilson to avoid the guarantees, and Russell said no, hell no, and then they, benched him and got rid of him. And then this year you had the Giants. You know what I'm saying? The Giants who, always very similar to the Saints, always just spoke glowingly.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, which always swore by him, paid him when they really shouldn't have, and all that. And they just got him up out of there. He benched him, and then he said he wanted out, and they got him up out of there
Why,
to avoid the injury.
all those teams finally came to their senses. Why not us, Ryan? Why not us, nigga? I need it to be us.
Maybe it will happen. That's all I'm saying. Maybe because it ain't gonna happen until it happens. You know what I'm saying? So you just never know. I'm waiting. Somebody tweeted at us today, like, boy, we get that Derek Carr, the Saints are parted ways tweet, boy. I need it. I need it. I need it. I need it.
I do too. All right. We got about 10 minutes. Let's go into the game.
Oh yeah.
Big game. Not a big game, but kind of a big game. Big game in the sense that I feel like hashtag the agenda, like Rattler's going into an absolute buzzsaw.
Ooh.
And it's funny because like I feel like he's going against a player on the opposite side in Jordan Love that feels like if he becomes who I potentially envision him to become, like is like his football doppelganger. A little bit. Not 100%, but a little bit.
In style.
Yeah, in style.
Yeah.
But the Saints have a tall task of them across the board. There's no AK. Breaks my heart that AK might miss a season, might miss his first 1,000 yard season. Literally breaks my heart that that's gonna may happen to him. So you're gonna have heavy dose of Kendre Miller, which also more Jamal Williams. Ugh. Same time, Clyde Edwards-Helaire to the practice squad. We'll see if he gets called up for this game. But you're going against a Green Bay team. And if you just really think about this, right? We brought up the draft chart last episode. If you didn't check that out, go look at our video episode for our last episode. The reason why the Packers are so goddamn good, aside from coaching and all that, is that they draft extremely fucking well and they develop talent.
Oh, yeah. They wrote the book on it, man. Like,
Wrote the book on it. Their entire team is almost completely home fucking grown. Now they do go out and splurge a little bit. Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney, but for the most part, they are homegrown. Their entire offensive line mostly homegrown. Jordan Love, homegrown. All the right receivers, homegrown. Taylor Croft. Go ahead.
remember when Aaron Rodgers was complaining about his receivers? You know, Jordan Love ain't had that problem. You know, that interesting.
Interesting. So, like, I'm going into this game, and it sounds weird, right? But first thing the Saints got to do defensively, they got to shut down Josh Jacobs. Go in. You got to shut down Josh Jacobs. Run defense. I'll give them credit against the Commanders, against a or an offense where you would figure it would cause them fits, whether it be with Jake Daniels and the Reed option. They held up, bro. They held up. They did pretty well.
No, yeah.
They got to make that a focus. Shut down the run game, and they played. I mean, it's a different. They played decently against the Packers offense last season in the first half last year, but that was with Lattimore on the field, with Adebo on the field. They got a tall task, bro. It's gonna be snowing below freezing.
Yeah, it's
so that's the game that probably doesn't lead to a lot of passing to begin with. It's gonna be run heavy.
Run heavy, bro. They're going to bring the big boy pants. And look, I will say the last couple of weeks they've stopped the run better. Not great, but better. Because it was most of the year it was atrocious. Like they couldn't stop a nosebleed, man. It was atrocious. But look, they're going against one of the better rushing teams in the league. Just the way they block, the way they run the ball. Josh Jacobs is, I mean, he a dog, always been a dog. So it's tough, bro. That's gonna be the key for me. The key to this game is the defense keeping the offense in the game. Like they can't let this turn to one of them things where it's just like last week where it was 17-0, out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to keep this. And look, the thing about Jordan Love is, as good as he is, he'll give you some because he's a very aggressive thrower.
He's streaky.
He's streaky. He might have a quarter where he's like, "What are you doing?" And then another quarter where he is making just absolute beautiful passes. So, like we got to hope that he is off a little bit, and you got to make sure he off. Show him some disguises, show him some disguise blitzes. Put some pressure on him, blitz him. You know what I'm saying? Like bring some heat on him. Like don't just fold, man. Like I just don't go in there and fold. I'm fine with the Saints losing this game. I like my number 10 pick overall. I'm happy and comfortable with it. But I also don't want to watch like the when we played the Broncos on Thursday Night Football a couple of weeks ago. That's just depressing. I don't want to watch that. You know what I'm saying? I want a nice fight. I want to see my team bring the fight. So don't go in there and fold. I want to see the defense. Like if DeMario play like he's been playing the past couple of weeks, DeMario been playing well, man. Like
man.
I think he had 14 tackles against the Commanders. He just like he's a major difference in the run game. Like if he's playing like that, and he like when the lights is on, bro. So if he playing like that, that'll help a lot. The defensive line. We've been talking a lot about that the past week about, like Cam Jordan, he's think he got 3 sacks so far this year. Just kind of you see like just a renaissance of the defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some of it's BS because they got a lot of weird sacks in the Commanders game. But I think you can see it when you watch them. They're a
You
little more.
can, man. Yeah.
They're much more frisky. They get more pressures. They got Ty Grantham up out of there. Like soon as Rizzy got in, he was like, "Psh, get out of here, buddy." First they did some kind of fake like, yeah, we're gonna make you like a assistant to the defense or some shit. And then he took a job in Oklahoma. Um, and they put I think Brian Young is
Brian
his
Young.
name. Yeah,
Yep.
BY.
Brian Young.
They put
Yep.
him over the D line and they changed things up. They just back to just rushing, stopping the run on the way to rushing the passer. And that's what they built for. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's shown. Like it's shown. I think they've had more sacks in the 5 games with Rizzy than they had the entire time with DA. The 8 or 9 games with DA. Like that's just. And I know that's just sex. That's not the whole story, but it's just that
Telling,
just
bro.
tells you everything. That's very telling.
Telling.
Like,
Randy Major said Marshawn didn't play in Green Bay last year. It was just a Debo and Taylor. I don't believe that's true because one of the big things that came out of that game is that Romeo Dobbs was like going off, and one of the big things is that DEA didn't
yeah.
they didn't put Marshawn on Dobbs. He just kept him on the left side.
Was it a
Um,
Debo that was out? I remember because wasn't
yeah, somebody. I think Debo was
somebody?
out.
Yeah, Debo was out. I think. Yeah,
Somebody.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Debo was out. So what do you want to see? And I'm not saying I'm not speaking from like a grand perspective, like grandeur type of thing, but like what are the things? Oh, that's right. It was thank you, Sandoval. It was Isaac Yadam. It was Isaac
Yeah,
Yadam
yeah,
who
yeah.
played that game. Who had like a great first half, and then like
Yeah.
Romeo Dobbs started like cooking
Start
him,
getting
bro.
tearing them
And
up.
then Da was like, okay, well, I don't know. I don't tell you. I don't have a shutdown corner on my team. Just keep doing what you're doing. What do you want to see from Spencer Rattler in this game?
I want to see Spencer take a lot of the singles and doubles. Just the
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot, what do you call it, check downs, and it's going to take him and the offensive coordinator working together to figure this out, or what the game plan is. But just get the layups, get the easy ones, get those out so you can get in a nice rhythm. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
the worst thing that could happen is a lot of 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 11 and third where they gonna tee off on you. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna have to do it. It's just like we don't want that. We don't want that. So let's just try to keep. If we punt, we punt. Hopefully the defense is playing like where they just playing well, where you don't mind punting. But punt. And also, I need Clint to cook, bro. Like, come with it. Come with the hook and ladder. Come with a little gimmick here. You showed a little something last week with the Cedric Wilson pass, the
Mm-hmm.
8K. Give me more of that, man. Like, you're gonna have to steal a possession here. You might need a fake punt or something like you did that fake punt in the Giants game when you need to. This is a game where you can use that fake punt, like
Right.
or some kind of trick special teams play to steal a possession because you're gonna need all the possessions you can get. So it's just gonna be one of them games. I just want to see uh, Spencer just have a nice, clean game because even in this game against the Commanders, when you go back and look at it, he had like like a handful of like beautiful, just like really nice plays. And he had a couple of course, rookie just boo boos.
Right.
So I just want to see him clean up those little rookie boo boos. Whereas, I thought his footwork was much better in this past
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Offensive line weirdly like got better when he got in
Man, it was weird,
because
bruh.
because
It
it
was
was that
weird.
first half was terrible. I mean, the offensive line was terrible, bro. It was
Awful, bruh.
terrible. I watched again. I was like, damn, Ruiz looked terrible out there. I was like, Jesus, this man out of my face, bro.
Man just got an extension, just cashing it in,
I,
bro.
I went to over the cap. I was like, man, how long we gotta pay?
When is the out? When is the out?
When we get out of here? Like, Patrick, Fuaga, yeah, he got worked a few times. Penny was getting worked, you know what I'm saying? But then it got a little better when Rattler got in there, but there was still some pressure. And uh, I don't know how ferocious Green Bay's D line is. I know they're pretty
Man,
good.
yeah, they got Rashawn Gary. They got
Hmm.
Adrian Cooper. It's just here's the thing that's about this game is the Saints have struggled with like interior pressure,
Hmm.
and the Saints guards are not very good.
Hmm.
And Green Bay has Kenny Clark, who is one of the best interior linemen,
Right.
defensive linemen in the league, right? And he's elite, right? So it's going to be hard to move him off the spot. So whether that's utilizing like here's something that I want to see, and we've been asking this of AK for over the years. Can we see Kendra down the field? Can we put him on a
Hmm.
wheel route? Can we use him
Something, man.
in the passing game a little bit? I
And
know that. Go ahead.
no, just like, can we get Foster Moreau involved in the pass game a little more? You know, like, because him and always think like every time Raleigh get on the field, I feel like they got a nice little connection
They
there.
do, bro. They got something. They got a little something. Um, I'm excited to see it. Who
Yep.
knows how it's gonna look? Again, we talking about it's gonna be snowing. It's gonna be at least a snow like
Frosty.
environment, frosty. But I just kept saying in the Discord, bro. Like I just kept imagining Jake Hayner like going out there in the snow, bro, and those
Oh,
temperature.
I saw enough with that one. They got the nerve to come on there all spicy.
Bruh, I was
Like, you proud of that? Like, he was proud of that performance. I'm like,
nigga,
boy.
I know that ain't who I think it is trying to talk this greasy at the podium right now, Mr. Slip and Slide. No, I know this ain't this.
Oh, man, I tell you, one thing I'm looking for in this game that's
Talk to
going
me.
to tell me all I need to know about Rizzy. If I see players slipping and sliding on that Green Bay field, knowing every team that go in there have a problem with that field. Every team except Green Bay, because somehow teams that don't play that are not in the NFC North don't know you have to wear some kind of special cleats. I'm not a cleat, aficionado or nothing, but there's something wrong with that field where everybody just go to slip and slide. Every time the Saints play up there, they slip and slide. Every time. Rizzy, if you're listening, like tell them where to screw in cleats or whatever they got to do.
Something.
Something, bro. I'm not trying to see players slipping and sliding all over the field,
We
bro.
saw it last
Falling.
season. We saw it last
So,
season.
every time we go out there and play, bro. Every time, except, I mean, I know with Sean Payton, but the only time with Sean Payton was there was when we played Green Bay in 2011, I think.
11. Yep.
And I was like, damn, why everybody slipping?
Um, I'll ask you this, and then we'll get to our break, and then we'll come back talk about head coaches, and we'll wrap up. What is more important long term for this team? And I asked this in the Zoom live stream during as the game was going along right before Spencer had the drive, the almost the game time drive, game winning drive. What's better long term for this team? Rattler potentially looking so good that Mickey takes notice that it maybe moves him off his thought process of bringing Carr back, or at least him being open to the idea that maybe Rattler can have a year as just having like an evaluation year, similar to like a Will Levis, or staying within that 8, 9, 10, 11 range draft prospect wise. Because for that to happen, like Rattler would have to essentially like go out and just like ball out, which is high expectation.
I mean, that's the ultimate goal is to get that W, bro. I mean, not the W, but to see your young rookie quarterback, like if you actually see him ball out, have potential, bro. That's better than some 12th pick in the draft or 11th pick in the draft or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like if Spencer looked like he that dude, at least potentially that dude for a season, like
Right.
that's worth a lot, man. Like that's like you got something. You know what I'm saying? And especially if it's enough to like move Loomis, like yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
If I
but
didn't have to see, man, if I didn't have to see Derek Carr for another season, bro, oh my god.
just go ahead and get Genty at 11 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Call it
Woo!
what it is.
Um,
Yeah, man.
Anyway, we will go to our sponsor. We'll be back. We will talk head coaches briefly, just candidates, just talk about them, brainstorm them. After our break, we will be back right after this.
Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are cold? Make your entries in just a few taps and turn your sport opinions into real money. Wide receiver hurt? Every dog deserves a second chance. And with Underdog Rescues, you can get your money back and receive a promo if any early injury causes your entry to lose.
I love Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is the best place to play champions. So sign up and deposit now using promo code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Download the app today and use the code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, download the app today and use the code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Will Derek Carr throw for over 75 yards, higher or lower? You decide using Underdog Fantasy.
Download the app today and use code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Higher or lower, you make the call on Underdog. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text Next Step to 53342. In New York, call 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369.
We are back. Let's see if I can do this correctly. I think I did. Boom. All right, that's not. Let's see if I can get this closer. Uh, 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 uh. So if you're listening, if you're listening, if you're listening to the audio version, we apologize. So
You could highlight it and increase the font size too if you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
All right. So we wanted to just do a little quick brief head coaching candidate. I tried to clean this up a little bit before the podcast as best as I could, because it like the formatting it came.
Yeah. I just had AI generate that, man. I don't know.
See what AI does, bro. See what AI does.
Just go and say, give me a list of potential head coaching candidates.
Can't replace the human. Anyway, so Ryan sent this to me when I was at work. Just some head coaching candidates for the Saints. So we have pulled up the list of candidates. They are Ben Johnson, Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers, Todd Monken, offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, Cliff Kingsbury, offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders, Vance Joseph, defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos, Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, Joe Brady, offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. Weirdly enough, he is like the betting favorite to be the Saints' next head coach. Brian Flores, defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. Jeff Hafley, the special teams coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what AI do? Talking about some tight ends coach.
See.
AI be lying, boys.
Can't replace me. Wes Phillips, who I believe is the passing game coordinator, or is he the quarterback's coach? Is he? I think he's the passing game coordinator. Maybe I don't know. But he is for the. He does work for the Minnesota Vikings. Mike Drabel, who is like a consultant, or he works with the Cleveland Browns in some capacity, and Pete Carroll, who is retired, and Darren Rizzi, who was the interim head coach of the New Orleans Saints, and previously special teams coach for the Saints, and worked for the Miami Dolphins.
Sean Payton on the TV. I look at Sean, bro. That's
Oh,
that post Laws face. I remember that
oh,
one.
man, nigga hot, nigga hot, hot.
But some, but you know, it's funny how that game kind of ties in with what we're doing now because just the battle of two great head coaches, bro. You got Jim
That's it.
Harbaugh and Sean Payton, and just look what they did to those teams in such a short time. You know, like Denver Broncos
Like
coming
that,
out
bro. Like
looking
that.
good. I mean, Denver Broncos looked good the first couple of quarters, man. Just looked like they was gonna run away with the game, and then the Chargers finding life late in the game, which you know, I mean, we've been watching the Chargers. I mean,
Charger
they
for
Chargers. Like,
years.
okay, here go the Chargers, the Charger. He's changed that narrative just that quick. Change that narrative where they go
Must
out
be
and win
nice.
a game, you know, in the final quarter. You know, so that just shows you the impact just of getting good head
Coaching.
coaching in the building. It changes everything. Sean Payton, go look at the Broncos roster and outside of Patrick Surtain and a couple other players, go look at those names. Go look at those names and where they come from and where they was drafted, and tell me, you know, the pedigree that they have. It's a bunch of, it's a lot of, you know, 7 round picks, a lot of cast offs, some of them from the Saints, you know, a lot of UDFA's, and he got them boys playing. Them boys out there playing. You know what I'm
Gonna be
saying?
probably a playoff team, bro. More than likely a playoff
Oh,
team.
they are a playoff team. Like that's no question, man. And that's just shows you the power of coaching. That's what we searching for right now. Out this list, we hoping one of these guys can bring that.
What
Who?
do you
I
want?
don't know. I don't know.
Let's start with Ben Johnson. Spend the least amount of time on him.
Yeah.
He'll see 504 pop up on his phone, and he's gonna immediately fucking hang up.
We can't. Even, they won't even call his phone. They call his agent. His agent like, nah, bro.
Immediately.
They not. Ben Johnson won't even see the number hit his phone. He like, nah. His agent gonna be like, nah, bro. We Mickey, you ain't getting this number. It don't even make no sense.
Um, you know, I have a thing about I just defensive head coaches scare me a little bit just
Oh
because
yeah,
the percentages of hitting on a defensive coach and them being good is like not very high.
yeah.
But Jesse Minter, man, I want to say something a little controversial. Can I say something a little controversial right now?
Go ahead.
I think he might be a better DC than Aaron Glenn.
Ooh, like that. Spicy.
And maybe it's just the Jim Harbaugh thing, but you go and look at those Michigan defenses, right?
Yeah,
Michigan defenses. You go and look. He was with the Ravens. He was with Michigan. He's with the Chargers. I like those are the defenses that I want the Saints to have, right?
yeah,
They're able to identify players on defense and build defenses that are bullies. We need that as an organization. Now, it can't just be one-sided. You can't just focus on that one side. So does he have that capability to look on the other side as well? Don't
yeah.
that's what you always never know as when you're selecting the defensive coordinator. But
Right.
that's a little my little spicy hot take is I might be more intrigued as Jesse Minter as a head coaching candidate than Aaron Glenn. That's all. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it's interesting. And look, when you're looking at all these defensive head coaches, that's going to be the question with all of them. Like, what's your vision for? Look, this is an offensive driven league, man.
It
Like,
is, man.
don't get me wrong, defense is extremely important. Lord knows we know this as Saints fans, but you know, it's about the quarterback, man. It's about one finding the quarterback, developing the quarterback, you know, and you know, accentuating the talents of the quarterback. And you got to have that vision as a defensive head coach to be able to do that. And it's kind of rare. You know what I'm saying?
It
It's
is,
kind of
bro.
rare to find that, man. You know, that's why I give props to um, Todd
Top,
Bowles. Like,
yes.
you just got to give credit to what he's doing over there, bro. Like, you know, a lot of times and me included, just kind of like, Todd Bowles, I mean, look, at least he making the right hires. You know what I'm saying on
That's
offense,
impressive, bro.
making good decisions about who to bring in, go and get Baker Mayfield, revitalizing his career and stuff like that. You know, it's funny because Todd Bowles is the Tampa Bay is funny because Todd Bowles is who the Saints wanted Da to be. Remember,
Exactly.
because remember Todd Bowles was the DC and they
Hmm.
promoted him coming from Bruce Arians and blah blah blah, just like Da and Sean Payton. And Baker Mayfield is who they wanted Derek Carr to be.
Sure.
just
Ain't that crazy, bro? Ain't that
it's so
crazy?
funny. Oh,
They,
let's keep
them,
going though.
them niggas about to win the division almost probably back to back, bro.
Back to
Back to
back, man.
back. Make me fucking sick. Um, Top Monken, Ravens OC.
Very interesting.
Older,
I mean,
older.
older, but man, he got that offense cooking, boy. That offense is cooking.
Todd Monken came on my radar the year that Jameis got suspended in Tampa Bay, and he was calling plays for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Remember that? Remember
Yeah,
that Tampa Bay game we was at, bro? And we
it
was
was
just
that.
annoyed.
Yeah,
He called plays for Ryan Fitzpatrick that entire season. I was like, man, out here just. And Ryan Fitzpatrick had a pretty goddamn good season with the Bucks that year.
yep, sure did, man. Like, nah, bro, like he's somebody that and been around a long time. You know what I'm saying? So it's somebody that I would like to know more about. Because I just don't know more about him. But what he did this year, you know, Lamar's having his best year as a passer. You know, like they found the perfect balance between Lamar's run game and his passing game,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and like it's like you just go look at the stats, man. They're one of the most explosive offenses in history right now. So like you can't deny that shit.
No, not at all.
And for him to do that with Lamar is like that. Just feel like it opens the door for potential. Whether it's a mirror role or maybe nobody in this draft class, maybe a future draft class, just
Right.
somebody. It just feel like it opens the door on the type of quarterback you could bring in.
Yes.
Say if Spencer Rattler don't work out or whatever.
Right. Whoever. Cliff Kingsbury, offensive coordinator right now for the Washington Commanders.
This you know him better than me, man. Like, do we want that head coaching? Do we want him as a head coach?
As a head coach, probably not. Now, now I think that question is different if I think I'll pose it like this. If they had hired like Jesse Minter as like head coach, this is just hypothetical, and they brought in Cliff Kingsbury as the OC for Spencer, just as an example,
Mhm.
I think that's a lovely pairing. Like that's a
Right.
pairing that you would love. Just Cliff as himself as a head coach.
Mm,
But this is what I would do. And the Saints would never do this. If I was running an NFL team, I would hire Cliff, excuse me, Cliff to a position. Had nothing to do with coaching. I'd hire him to a front office position in scouting that literally was just strictly of evaluating quarterbacks, and I would make him a very highly paid position and be like, hey, you scout every quarterback in this draft class. Every quarterback in this draft class. And you give me your opinion of them. That's what he would do every season. Because his scouting of quarterbacks is almost impeccable. Almost impeccable, bro. Say whatever you want to say about him as a coach.
but he got
His
the
scout,
eye.
he got the eye for the quarterback, and that's a gift, bro. Like that's a gift, and
Uh,
I would pay handsomely for that if I was the owner.
oh man, that's worth a lot of money. A lot of money right there.
Uh, Vance Joseph, DC, Denver.
You can, and it's funny because he had the 1 year with the Cardinals as a HC. Who
No,
was
it
it?
wasn't it wasn't with the Cardinals, bro. It was with Denver. It was Steve Wilkes with the Cardinals,
Yeah. With Denver and shit. I
bro.
don't even remember who they had at quarterback that year.
It went
Yeah,
bad, bro.
it
It
went
was
bad.
like bad.
got that stink on him. Got that stink on him. But look, he got Denver defense humming, man. They took a lick in the day, but nah, I'm good on that, bro. I'm good on Vance Joseph.
Aaron Glenn. So
Aaron Glenn, baby.
this is the candidate that I've been told, like literally the week Da got fired, that Mickey has had his eye on. Like it, like that's like that. Like I know that Joe Brady's like the betting favorite. Aaron Glenn should be the betting favorite.
Should be the better favorite, right?
Should be the betting favorite. Does that
They
mean that he's
interviewed him in 22 in
it
2022. They interviewed him. They loved him.
blew them away, Ryan. Blew them the fuck away. Made them give like a second of pause it before like offering the job to Da. That's how much he blew him away. Keep in mind, like that was when he was just brand new of being a DC with the
Right.
Lions. So
Yeah.
he's had more seasoning. He's produced more impressive defenses with the Lions.
Right.
The question really becomes, I think he would be a good head coach. I think he would even be a pretty good culture builder. The question then becomes, like you just said earlier, what about the rest of it? What about the offense? How does Aaron Glenn envision his offense? What does
Right.
that look like? We don't know.
And
We don't know that.
right. What's his staff look like? What's his Rolodex? Because one thing all these coaches do that want to be head coaches, they start building their staff years before they become a head coach. Like
Years,
they
bro.
they meet with guys, that they just know through the grapevine. Like, bro, look, if I get a job, bring you with me to be the OC. I'm bringing you with me. You gonna run special teams. Man, you a good scout, bro. They start working on that years before they become a head coach. So I wonder, what his Rolodex looks like. You know what I'm saying? Is there some offensive assistant with the Detroit Lions right now that he wants, or is he going to be just since he was with the Saints for a while, is he going to Pete Carmichael to come back or something? I don't know. Or Joe Lombardi. It's going like, hey, Joe Lombardi, you want to come be my OC? Like, I want to know what's his vision of the offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the number one key for me.
1 second. So Sandoval, much love for the 4.99 super chat.
Hey, thank
Uh,
you.
our dude Mark said a Jesse Mentor is a smash mouth defense. AG is a sweat equity defense. I think that's a pretty good analogy.
Yeah, so,
Marcelo said, "Can we tier the ones who aren't coming so we can realistically see who it will be?" I mean, when we talking through him, Marcelo, like
we're just talking through him, bro.
we
Like,
just talking. That's all we doing, bro. We just talking to him. So we'll see. If I was I would say this. If you were asking me right now, I would put the chances of Aaron Glenn becoming the Saints net head coach at about 65-ish%. Now,
exactly.
the thing that gets super interesting to me is that there's going to be teams that will also want Aaron Glenn to be their head coach.
Yeah.
And there might be other teams, there's going to be other teams that have better situations than the New Orleans Saints do. Those are just facts. And he might he might take a job with another team. And the
Yeah.
Saints might be on the outside looking in. So that's just something to be mindful of when thinking about the next head coaching search.
Because from his perspective, the defense is much worse than when he was here.
Much.
No Lattimore, no Marcus Williams. It's older. Cam Jordan on his last leg. Defensive line need plenty help. Demario's on his last leg. So it's just like, even from a defensive perspective, and we ain't even talking about the offense yet.
He got to
I mean,
rebuild it. He got to
gotta
rebuild
rebuild
it.
it. So, like from his perspective, if I'm looking at, say the Jaguars, the Jaguars know they're not great, but look, I got, say what you want about Trevor Lawrence, but he's a young quarterback talent.
And the Jazz got Josh Allen.
They got
They
Josh
got
Allen. They got
Trevon Walker's playing pretty
Trevon
well.
Walker's playing well. They got cap space. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, shit. I rather just take my licks over there. So I don't think it's gonna be just a given. Like, oh yeah, like Aaron Glenn gonna come over there. But I also want to know, like, damn, would he be a Derek Carr guy or not? I don't know. I don't know the
We need
answer
to
to
know.
that.
I need to know it, bro.
I
I
need to know,
need
bro.
to know it.
Because
Aaron.
as a defensive guy, you might look at him like, ah, I can win with that. I can win with Derek. That same old, I can win with that. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that mentality
I
in the
don't, bro.
building.
I don't. I do not. I do not. Joe. Speaking of betting favorite, Joe Brady.
Don't he just scream that just like the white privilege thing? It's just like
It does, bro. It
just like what?
does. It does.
Just like, bro, what you ain't do nothing yet, bro.
This
Nothing.
this nigga that had Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. This nigga gonna be head coach. Okay, all right, Joe Brady. All right, nigga. This nigga got the taper fade and the clean cut beard. This nigga need to be head coach. Okay, all right.
But they you bring up like Teddy Bridgewater in the Panthers. They're like,
We
there's the Panthers.
don't.
It's like
That,
that's where I want to see you cook at. Like that's where I want to see your
that was
coaching acumen.
that was Matt Rule. That was Matt Rule. You understand? You understand, right? You understand? That was Matt Rule.
And that's not to say he might not be good. I gotta see. Like I just get some more skins under your belt, bro. I just want to see him get some skins under his belt a little more, man. Because they tied him to the Saints, but he was like literally just like an offensive assistant with the Saints for like a year or two. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was dialing up schemes and nothing like that. He was just a young guy in the building. Went to LSU for that year with Joe Burrow and elite NFL weapons. They cooked the league. Then he went to the Panthers, got ran out of there quickly, and worked himself back up with the Bills. It's just not enough on the resume for me to be impressed with as a head coach.
Head
No,
coach, a CEO, bruh. A
no,
CEO, a
no,
CEO, bruh.
no,
No,
no.
no. I'm not buying what you're like. Listen, he's not on the list. He's not on the list. Yeah, like if Joe Brady's on this list, why is Kellen Moore not on this goddamn list? I would take Kellen Moore over fucking Joe Brady at this point.
That's
At
true.
least he got the notches on his belt.
He really do. He really do. I could have put. I don't know why I didn't put Kellen Moore on there.
Okay, so good. Anyway, Brian Flores.
Very interesting. Because one thing I love about Brian Flores, and one thing I look for in coaches is like, do you innovate? And he really innovated something this year with the defense he runs
He does.
with the Vikings, bro. Like he had quarterbacks' minds frazzled with what he was doing. That's impressive to me, bro. Like as a coach, if you still in 2024 coming up with new things and new ways to it just tells me you view the game different. And look, he came up under Bill Belichick, so they view the game, in a very situational point of view. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really impressed by him in certain ways, and then some other ways I'm just kind of like, just like his history with the Dolphins, and even that, I don't know if that really, because I knew there was the thing with Tua where he was kind of like hard on Tua and stuff. That doesn't bother me that much because, you know, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like the Tua thing doesn't bother me. The thing that
No.
bothers me with Brian Flores, it was it was the
Kneeling?
no, it was the Kenny Stills thing
Yeah. Yeah.
that he did with Kenny Stills when he was kneeling,
Yeah.
and like he like purposely played like a song, like a Jay-Z
Jay-Z
song
or
or
something like
something.
that. Yeah.
I can't get over that. Like it was that was like spitefully done. Like like head coaches are gonna do things to, like motivate players and
Yeah.
get in their psyche and do things.
Yeah. But
That
some
wasn't
things
that. That
that
wasn't
wasn't that.
that. It
And,
wasn't
and,
that.
e- and even the Tua thing, like to me, like, yeah, maybe Tua is just a little too soft or too sensitive or something like that. But you got to know as a head coach, you know, what buttons to press because every player is different. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone.
Some need positive reinforcement, some negative reinforcement. Some you could scream at and that's what works. Some you got to go, find personal time, put your hand on the shoulder, and you got as a head coach, you have the like Sean Payton had a great skill with that on how to work with certain players. And look, even he messed up sometimes where he couldn't, figure out. Like Brian Flores, they traded Micah Fitzpatrick like after his first year. You know what I'm saying? Because he tried to pigeonhole him into certain positions on defense and stuff like that. Micah Fitzpatrick, a elite defensive player. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just a lot of things that are just like, and I don't think the Saints will touch him anyway. So
No. They
they
did
interviewed
interview
him.
him last
Yeah.
round. SJ said, "Bruh, Sean Payton had his play calling duties taken away from him at the Giants. Went to Dallas as the quarterback coach and then promoted to OC.
Yep.
Joe Brady had a very similar story."
The thing is, Sean Payton was the OC with the Giants for years. Went to the Cowboys as a pass game coordinator. Played there for years. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
There's
he built
progression.
his
Like
resume.
he worked to it.
Yeah, I'm not saying like Brady is trash or Brady they don't deserve it. I'm just saying just give me a little more. Like we don't need to rush you to be a head coach right. Like what is the rush to push you to be a head coach right now? Like dude, he's still a kid. He's younger than me. You know what I'm saying? Like
All I'm
not saying
saying
age
is
is all that matters, but I'm just like, come on,
All
man.
I'm saying is that all the things that all if Joe Brady's is on a list for head coaching jobs, there's no way that Kellen Moore should not be on the list of head coaching jobs, especially what he's done with the Eagles.
Who is Joe Brady's Rolodex? Like he don't know nobody. He don't know nobody. He just
Hello,
he ain't been around long enough, man.
hello. Jeff Halfley. I don't know. I mean, I
He's
know
he's he's the DC. They got him as special teams right here, but he's the DC.
thanks AI.
AI, bro. AI, bro. Allen Iverson, what you doing, bro? Man. Yeah, he was at Boston College last year as he's the head coach, and then came to be the DC for the Packers. Doing a good job with the Packers, but I don't really know much about him to have like an opinion. I have no opinion whatsoever on him. Like, it's
S,
like okay.
SJ said Sean Payton was the OC for 2 seasons at the Giants. So I feel like SJ like really enjoys like Joe Brady. So all we're saying is that Joe Brady has not done much to really show or
Uh,
really emphasize that he is ready for a head coaching job in the NFL yet. You can completely disagree with us, and maybe who knows what? Maybe he'll be a great head coach. All we're saying that from our opinion is that he hasn't even been a full OC yet. Like he's been a full OC for the Carolina Panthers, what, a full season, and the
yeah.
Buffalo Bills half a season.
And before
Like
the Giants, Sean Payton was an offensive guy with the Eagles for a while. Before that, he was with San Diego State. He was with Sean Payton went through the ringer for a long time before he got to his head coaching job. And he was a young head coach when he became the Saints head coach. Like I'm just saying, like can Joe Brady get some seasoning before we push him
can
to
he
be a CEO of a franchise that needs to be rebuilt from the bottom up? Like
can he can he
this is not walking into like a ready-made position. This is a tough job we asking him to do.
can he marinate? Can he marinate? Can he marinate in the seasoning first before he put him on the grill?
Jeez,
So this is
Brian on him or something, man. Hey,
this is my dude right here, Liam Cohen. I'm gonna
it's your
say this.
dude, huh?
This is my dude. Liam Cohen is who drove. Liam Cohen is who. Liam Cohen should be getting the credit that Joe Brady is getting because he's doing it with Baker Mayfield.
Cooking, cooking, bro.
Like it's easy to cook with Josh Allen. It's easy to cook with Joe Burrow. This man out here cooking with Baker Mayfield. I get it. Baker Mayfield went #1 overall. I'm not saying that he don't have talent. I'm not saying that he don't got pedigree. Baker Mayfield, before he went to Tampa Bay, was a journeyman. He was a journeyman. He was going team to team. And the perception was, oh, god dang. Dave Canales went to Carolina. He going the head coach. Baker Mayfield's about to have this regression. His OC left. He's played better since David Canales left with Liam Cohen. I love what Liam Cohen has done with Baker. I love what Liam Cohen's done with Bucky Irvin, with Rashad White, with the running backs in the running game with Tampa Bay. I feel like Liam Cohen would be perfect for Kendra, for Spencer's development, even if he's not the long-term answer, even in the short term. and there's like a little tangential like line between the Saints and Liam because they've talked to him and interviewed him at some point.
Yep.
Don't think the Saints would hire him as head coach, but Liam Cohen is like my dude. I love him as a head coaching prospect.
Yeah, man. He was with the Rams. Like I, that I would be much more into him than Joe Brady.
Much more, much more, much more. Like he's like in my like top five of head coaches candidates I would love. Zach Robinson, the the rose is falling off of Zach Robinson, bro.
Boy, I remember everybody was tweaking for some Zach Robinson in the offseason. Like, well, where's Zach at? Where's Zach? Zach signed yet? He signed yet? Uh, well, we'll see. Like, if he got Penix cooking, then maybe it'll turn around. But I'm good right now. I'm good. Yeah.
Thanks, but no thanks. Wes Phillips is like my little my another one that I'm just like, I feel like Wes Phillips could be, and this is high praise, and I'm being a little hyperbolic, maybe a little Kevin O'Connell 2.0, bro, just little.
Right. Just like, remember, nobody. Like, I don't think Kevin O'Connell even interviewed with anybody when he came, because he came out the same year as we hired Dennis Allen, and it's 2022, and
Yes.
the Vikings had their eyes set on him, brought him in, hired him, and it was like no fanfare. It was like, okay, Kevin
Well, and it's
O'Connell.
fun, but it's funny because that story is just so funny because we talked about this with Jordan Rodriguez of the Athletic. The Vikings had their eyes set on Jim Harbaugh, and Jim
Yeah,
Harbaugh went to that interview, and
exactly.
he was being egotistical Jim Harbaugh and thought he had it all made in the shade, and went in there and pulled his dick out and thought that he had it in the bag, and it kind of turned the Vikings off. They were like,
Yep. Yeah,
I
like
don't know.
I don't want that.
What that? And that opened their eyes to interview other candidates, and then they interviewed Kevin O'Connell. They loved him, and now he's one of the best young head coaches in the league. Like maybe that's Wes Phillips. Like I'm just saying, and it's not like he doesn't have pedigree. Like man, Wade Phillips' son.
Wade Phillips' son, man. Wade Phillips' son. Just an interesting guy. I just read about him. Just reading reports about him. He did have like the DUI, I think last year or something like that. So that kind of took a little stink on him. I'm not defending DUIs, but had like a .10
This
blood.
this nigga this nigga
I'm
know
just
the B.
saying
This nigga
the
know
point.
this nigga know the BAC. This nigga pulling up the BAC on the podcast.
Yeah, like a .10, and the league limit is like a .08. That's like two cut waters, bro. Yeah, two cut waters. Shouldn't have been driving. It's illegal. It's wrong. Could have definitely hurt somebody. I'm not defending it, but it's not like the man was just plastic, just like I'm just saying.
Okay, with this nigga right now.
Come to New Orleans.
Just, just,
Drink
just, just walk, Wes. Just walk. Oh, just walk as you drink, bro. Just don't get behind any vehicles, Wes. Mike Vrabel, who is probably probably one or two of probably him and Ben Johnson are fighting it out for like the number one
Yeah.
head coaching. There's no way he's coming to the Saints.
No.
The funny thing is like there was like interest. There was like legit interest. I had heard this. Was this last offseason? It was last offseason after the Titans kind of like unexpectedly fired him. Like he had like legit like if the Saints would have moved on from DA last offseason, he had like legit interest of potentially coming to the Saints because there's connections that he has within the Saints building, and then that didn't happen. Not gonna happen. Pete Carroll, former Seahawks head coach. I don't think the Saints would go down that route just because I
No.
think Pete Carroll is just too much of a personality.
Very
Um,
much.
it would not work with what Mickey's looking for. And
But that's the
then
type, like he's the type that I want. You know what I'm saying? Like when he
program
went
builder,
to like the Seahawks weren't shit. You know what I'm saying?
nothing,
Like
bro.
he went there and turned them into a legit contender. Legit contender. Now you can talk about how, the second phase didn't go
Yep.
well, after paying Russ kind of got washed. The
But
defense, they
even
never
that,
did.
but even that second phase, like
Yeah, it
that
started building
that
towards something.
that last draft class, like a lot of that success was Pete 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 Carroll like influencing that draft class. Like he
No
just didn't
question.
see it.
See it to fruition, yeah. And he's
That's
older. He's older than Belichick, actually.
that's
So
crazy.
yeah, so like all that's okay. And look, they're not like we said, they're not going that route. But that's the type of guy I would like. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I would at least be talking to Pete right now, bro. I'd be
at
talking
least
to him like, bro,
they
like what
they
you
could be
think, bro?
they could be talking to Pete Carroll right now, bro. Not like would they go down that route? No, but they could be talking to him right now, right? Hey, Pete, what you think about this young talent? What you talk about Alante? How like you want to talk about a Pete Carroll type of player? I cannot think of a Pete Carroll type of player more than Alante Taylor right now, bro.
Oh man, come
How
on,
would
man.
you how would you envision? How would you use Alante? What would you use them on the field? Anyway, anyway, let's keep it moving. In and out, Darren Rizzi, current interim head coach of the Saints.
I actually do like Rizzy though, bro, because Rizzy has really done some good things
I do too.
with this team, like being head of this team in the middle of the season and
Yeah,
actually making changes, like actually doing actual things. Um, I just don't know if he has that vision to run a to do the full rebuild. My word was he would be just another
like
Loomis tool. You know what I'm saying? Like just
he would remind me of, oh, like remember the Niners years that had like Chip Kelly, and who was like the
yeah.
sweaty guy, like the big
Uh,
oh
was he the D line coach and then they got moved
uh
up.
yeah, hold on, it's gonna drive me crazy. He was like, okay, it was Jim Tasula.
Yeah, Jim Super. Yep.
He like would be like in that area of like
You're
Jim
right.
Tom Sula, Chip Kelly type of like head coaches for the Saints.
Yeah, just kind of like a kind of forgettable, honestly. As far as like tenure, but great personality. Only thing that sucks is like if he's not the interim, he will leave and go somewhere else. And
Hmm.
he's a fantastic special teams coach. Like
Really is.
he will be missed. You know what I'm saying, as a special teams coach.
Yes, absolutely. Um. Anyway, that was fun. We went through the head
Woo!
coaching candidates. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We didn't mean to go that long, but when like an hour plus on this podcast episode, did not mean to go that long. But we will be back on Monday night, enjoying Monday night football, Saints Packers. If you are a Patreon or a YouTube member, join the join us on the Zoom. There's only 3 Zooms left for the season. So join us on the Zooms. We'll be live streaming to YouTube. So if you're not a Patreon, become a YouTube member so you can join in on one of our last end of the season Zooms. If not, you can join us on YouTube and watch along as we watch Monday Night Football, the last primetime game for the Saints. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be fun regardless. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll be back Monday night watching the game together. And with that, we are out.
Peace.